Okay, hello everyone. So in this video I'm going to be doing another collection video. So in this video I'll be going over my newest collection. My main thought for these videos is that I wait until I complete a collection and then I go through and kind of discuss it. Like I said, this one will be for newest. As of right now, I have a complete album collection. My photo card collection is a work in progress. That's what I can say about that, I guess. And yeah, so I'm just gonna go through and show you my collection, talk about the albums and things like that, and yeah. Okay, so anyways, here's the first album. So it's their first single album, Face. This is their debut, of course. And by the way, none of my albums have the CDs in them because I took them out. But I feel like, first of all, this photo book is super cute. They're all babies, so yeah, but their debut song is actually really, I like it a lot. There's something about their old music that just, you know, it hits a bit different than their new stuff, but it's really, really fun music. So yeah, they're all babies here. I think this is one of the first albums I bought from them because I did start collecting them around Produce 101 Season 2 time, so I did start collecting them around that time. I really wanted to get as many of their older albums as I could because at that time they were a little bit harder to find. I don't think they had really been reprinted yet. So I was really just trying to get their albums as quick as I could. So I got this one fairly quickly. If I'm remembering correctly, I think. But anyways, yes, moving on. And then we have their first mini album, Action. I like this album too. I mean, all of their music is generally pretty good. They don't have any songs that I consider bad. But yeah. I mean, their styling back then wasn't great, but it's also like kind of classic. Like you can't not love it, if you know what I mean. But I find it funny that this is a mini album and it has 4 songs, and then Face has 3 songs and it's a single. It's like 1 song difference, but I don't know. That's interesting to me, but I think this was the first and only time I pulled JR in my album. I don't know if I've really pulled him since this album, which is actually really sad if you think about it. I think Action is a great song and this era is good, so yeah, moving on. So next we have their second mini album, Hello. So first of all, I love Hello. I mean, it's one of my favorite Nui songs. I think it's really just a classic. Yeah, like this whole album, again, is just really good. Which way does this go? This is definitely like a really good era style-wise for them though. Like, I think Ren's hair is really nice in this era. Aaron looks a little bit emo. Gotta love it. But yeah, I think this is some really good stuff and super cute. They have all these old Pledis audition ads in here and I think it's funny. Anyways, yes, that was this album. So next is their third mini album, Sleep Talking. So for me, this is where things get really, really good. Like, this is where I really start to love their music. And I know that Sleep Talking it's not their favorite song, or I don't know if it's anybody's favorite song, but personally, I like it. And Pretty and Please Don't are 2 of my favorite Nui B-sides. Like, to this day, those are like some of my favorite Nui songs. So I don't know, this album is just really good, and I mean, despite how anyone feels about it, I love it. Yeah, some of their best B-sides, I think. I also think, I mean, it's just hard not to really think that their styling is cute. Like, it may not be great, but it's still cute. Like, kind of in a reminiscent kind of way. Not that I don't know. But, yeah, so this is probably one of my favorite Nui albums to this day, so yeah. So next we have Rebirth. Let me see who my thing underneath here is. Oh, so I have Minhyun for the little poster underneath, but I think this is one of my favorite photo books for them, actually, because it has all the words throughout it, and I just think it's really pretty. Very casual, very nice. Yeah. But the songs on here, I think it's kind of a scam that they put their old title tracks on here, but every single song on here is really good. Climax is a really good one, but I think I think this might be one of my least listened to albums from New East. I don't know why, it's just never been, I guess, a favorite, but maybe I'll just have to re-listen to it sometime soon and see what it's all about. So next we have Q Is. This is their 5th mini album, I think, and again, this is just where their music starts to get really, really good. Like, this album is, like, totally unmatched, I feel like, even to this day. Like, first of all, these photos are gorgeous, and, oh, yeah, these are gorgeous photos. But every single song on this album is so, so good. I feel like a lot of creativity has gone into a lot of the things that New East has done. Like, if you see this, it spells out love in the title of the songs. It's so cute, and all of the songs on this album are really good. I think the title track here is one of their best to date. I think that, like, it's this style of music that when they started releasing this kind of music, it really kind of gave them a signature sound, and that is what I really love from them. Like, they release such cool songs that are original to them, and it's like when you hear a song, it's like you know it's a New East song. So that's a lot of what I love about New East, and especially because they've kind of carried on with the sound that they went with here, like, even today, but they've kind of just, like, expanded upon it, I guess would be the right term. But yeah, this one is a really good one. And then next we have their 5th mini album. I think I might have said their album before this was their 5th. It was definitely their 4th. But this is obviously their 5th mini album, so I think this album is just as good. I'm not going to go through what's in here because it's just postcards, but this album actually took me a really long time to get, and I think it was mostly just because it didn't come with a photo card. Because when I was initially buying New East albums, I was buying them with the intent of also collecting JR, so it was like I wanted to buy the albums with photo cards first so I could kind of get a head start on it, and I didn't necessarily need this one to obviously do that, but I think this album is really, really good too. It's like the same kind of sound as Q Is, which, like I just discussed before, it's like just so great, and it suits them really well. Like, I really loved Love Paint when it came out, so there was a certain point where I would kind of check out almost everything that got released just because I wanted to check out as much new stuff as I possibly could. And I did check this out when it got released initially, and I did like it a lot, but it was like, I didn't really know much about New East, and I didn't know about their situation, I guess, that they were in at the time, so I didn't really get a chance to get into them when this was released. So yeah, this album, another great one. It's really hard to pick a favorite on here, but Real Love, True Love is a really good one. I mean, Daybreak is a great one too. Minhyun and JR are like 2 of my favorite members. I obviously love them all, but JR is my bias, and then Minhyun would probably be my number 2, except I guess they're all kind of my number 2, but like Minhyun, you know, whatever. But so I think that song is great. I just love how much they put into making their own music, and it's really evident on this album how much like involvement they had. And I'm not sure when they started like having a whole bunch of like writing credits. So like there's some on Q Is, but there's like significantly more writing credits from them on this album. And I think especially when Bumgee started to work with them on their music, I think it just put them on another level. So yeah, this album is so good. Anyways, moving on. So since I'm going in chronological order, I'm going to switch to New East W now. So I have their first mini album, W, here. This version is signed by Baeko. This was the first New East release I was actually around for, so it was the first time I had been a fan of them while they had a comeback. So I was really, really, really hype about this album. Yeah, I was just like so ready to support New East in any way, shape, or form I possibly could, and I was just excited for them to finally release some more music. This album is so good though, and I guess my favorite thing about this album was that they did have some group songs. They had 2 group songs, like the title track and then another one. But they also had the 4 solo songs, and I thought that was such a nice touch, such a good thing to do for a first album from a subunit, I guess. But all of the solo songs are just really, really good too. Like, there's not one I don't like, and I think they all show each of the boys and their, I guess, colors really well. My favorite is Baeko's. Baeko has like the sweetest voice ever, and I just love it so much. That song was written by Uji from 17, and when I first heard the song, I could hear his vocals in the background, and it made me really emo. The song in general just makes me really emo, but Love this album. Like Where You At is also a bop. I don't know why I didn't discuss the title track, but it is really good. So next I have their second mini album, Who You, and I apologize for the glare here from this album, but there's no way to avoid it. But anyways, this album is also really, really good. I really liked that they switched back to doing full group songs for the whole album. And so Signal, I think that was one of my favorite songs of the year in 2018. It definitely was. I think it was in like top 5. And that is including, you know, like B-sides, title tracks all throughout the year. It's like still one of my favorite songs ever. But the entirety of this album is really good. Like, love the whole thing front to back. It's like pretty much a genius album and I love it. The only thing is that Deja Vu isn't my favorite like title track ever, but I mean the rest of the songs kind of weigh that out. Like, it is truly amazing, and I would say there isn't a single song that like ever warrants a skip. So then next we have their third mini album, Waken. So admittedly, I don't like this album very much. I think my favorite thing on this album is just the title track, Help Me. I think that song is really good, but they did the whole solo thing again, and I didn't really like that. I thought it was a really good introduction to the subunit, but I didn't really think it was needed a second time. Like, I didn't think we needed another solo from each of the members again. I just don't think this album necessarily lived up to the other two, really, and I mean, I'm kind of sad to say that, but it's also just how I feel about it. And I mean, it's the reason I only have one version of it. Like, it's just not my favorite thing. And I mean, it's obviously nothing against like the members and the music they put out or whatever. It's just, I think it disrupted the flow of what they were doing a bit. But yeah, that's all I had to say for this one. So now we move back to full group newest releases, and the next one is Happily Ever After. So I do have all 4 versions of this. Personally, I have an issue when there's more than 3 versions of an album. I really wanted to support New East, like OT5 New East coming back, even though I knew their album sales would be insane and I knew they'd be doing great things. I still really wanted to buy my 4 copies and support them in my own way. For some reason, I just kind of went with it this time and bought all 4. And I don't really regret it because I think all the photo books are really beautiful. I do love this album, honestly. Oh, as you can see, I have this version signed. It is signed by Baekho again. It's almost like Baekho won't leave me alone in any way, shape, or form. I'm always pulling Baekho photo cards, just Baekho everything. But it's fine. I love Baekho. Doesn't hurt me at all. But yeah, like I said, this album is great. Pretty much immaculate, if you ask me. Like, every single song on this album is pure gold, and it was really nice to see, well, I guess it was really nice to hear Minhyun's voice again. Like, it just felt really great to hear him again, and they went back to more of the music they were making before New East W, which, like I said, is so good. It's just great. Bet Bet is probably the best song they could have come back with after so long. Yeah, I'm still pretty much on my Bet Bet hype. Like, I just love the song. And I think the rest of the album is just really great. Like, they took their songs in a few different directions, and I think it all just really worked, and it's a really cohesive album. And yeah, I don't know if I could say it enough, but I do love this album so much. Okay, so then we have their last album release, The Table, and I have all 3 versions here. I really love Love Me. I think it's a great song, very different in terms of style for them, which I actually appreciated. I appreciate that they went with something a little bit different, but this album overall isn't my favorite thing. It's just not very memorable for me. My favorite song in terms of B-sides is Call Me Back, like, by far, basically. Like, there's just not really another song that I'm super into. I might have to take a re-listen. It's been a while since I've listened to the whole thing. Yeah, didn't stick with me too much, but again, I just wanted to, you know, support them, buy all the versions. But yeah, that was really all I had to say for that one. This is their 7th mini album, right? But yeah, so that was everything that I had for albums for them. I do actually have a few photo books that I'll show, and I will show you my photo card collection as of today. So I will do that now. Okay, so first, what I have for photo books, I have 2 of them, but they're both like New East W era, basically. So first one's a bit too big to fit on screen, but it is the Waiting Queue photo book. This is like the first thing they released after Produce 101. I have that. It was actually pretty cheap at the time, so I figured I'd buy it. And then I also have their The Icon magazine type thing. So I have JR's, obviously, because he's my bias. But yeah, I bought this because it was a pretty good price at the time too. Usually these cost a little bit more, but I feel like I got it for a really good price. I've decided that I'm not going to collect Newies like photo books and things anymore, so I know they do have, I guess, another one of these, and I'm sure they have like other things like as in DVDs. I would really love to collect their DVDs, but I decided that I'm not going to collect DVDs if they're not alts, so that's kind of out of the question. Yeah, that's all I have for that. Alright, so here is my photocard collection. As you can see, I collect JR. I do occasionally keep my Minhyun pulls, so yeah. So the first thing that I have is this little mini poster from Newies W's first album, so that just stays there because I didn't really plan to collect them, so I think I pulled that one, so I mean, like, I'm gonna keep it, so yeah. And here's everything through Q is. I do have one Minhyun card. I think this is from Hello, but I did pull that one, so of course I kept it. Oh, and I have this Minhyun card from Sleep Talking too. I think I might have traded for that one, but I'm not sure. Actually, no. I pulled 2 of this one in my album. I remember that now. I think that was the first time that ever happened to me. And then here's my Newies W page. So I don't plan on getting absolutely everything for JR for Newies W just because at this point it doesn't really matter. I just found, I mean, like, Newies cards are not easy to trade for. Like, it's just not. Yeah, so these 4 are from W here. These 2 are from Who You. I don't plan to collect the other 2 cards from Who You. The like transparent one and like the mirror type one. Those just, I don't really want those. This is from the Waiting Queue photo book, and then this is from Waken. I do want to get one more Waken card just so I can finish out this page and be done with it. Moving on. This is where I'm at with Happily Ever After. I've made absolutely no progress. I did trade for this one card. I pulled Minhyun 3 times, so I figured I would trade one of the Minhyun cards, and that's like basically the only one I've successfully been able to trade for a JR card, so this collection is definitely lacking. I'm hoping I can get more soon. But also this Minhyun card is like my favorite thing ever. I nearly cried when I saw that I pulled it. It's so cute. And also I have this one Minhyun card on the back here, just because that's where it fit, so yeah. And then this is where I'm at for the table, so I have his AR card, 3 just like normal cards. I do actually have another one on the way, or it'll be on the way soon. I'm trading for it. And then I have 2 unit cards, one with Minhyun in it, both with Baekho in it. Luckily I pulled this one. I think I pulled this card originally, so I don't really pull JR ever, so I mean, proof of my bad luck is like right here. Like in Happily Ever After you got 2 photo cards per album. I bought 4 albums, so that is 8 cards total, and I did not pull a single JR. So that is what my luck is. But anyways, I got a little bit more lucky this time, obviously, and I just want one more unit with JR in it so I can like kind of call this collection complete. It's obviously not complete, but it's like I'm trying not to stress over my collections, so this is definitely one that doesn't take super high priority, and I don't feel like I have to have everything. Yeah, especially because this is probably going to be crazier with the photo cards in the future, so I figure why worry about it, so yeah. Anyways, moving on, this is Rebirth. I have Minhyun's. I pulled his. I do actually have JR's. I just traded for it recently. I haven't put it in here yet, so just imagine it's right here. And then this is just the extra stuff from Happily Ever After postcards. I luckily pulled 4 different ones. I didn't really realize that the postcards were random in the album, but I did pull 4 different ones, so that's fun. And then these first 5 cards here are just some goods that were released back in 2012. They're really cute, obviously, and I mean, they weren't that expensive, so I had to get them. And then these are from the Icon magazine type thing. And then these are concert cards. This is when they didn't do the trading cards, so. And then this is more of like the trading card stuff. These 3 and this one are trading cards. And then this one right here, I'm not entirely sure what it's from. I think it's from like when Newies W did Spoons promotions. I'm not entirely sure, but this card was gifted to me. All of these were, actually. Yeah, I think the trading cards for Newies are really cute, and I would really actually love to collect them, but like I said, my Newies collection isn't really high priority, so I'm trying to not do that. But anyways, yeah, that was everything for my Newies collection. Okay, yeah, so that was everything for my Newies collection. I hope you enjoyed. If you have another group that you'd like to see me do one of these collection videos for, I'd be willing to do it. I have Red Velvet I could do, but my collection for them isn't quite complete. Daya is kind of in the same position, like it's complete, but there's one thing that I want to have to make it like officially complete. I could do NCT, and I kind of feel like that's it. I could do my entire Hotshot collection. Anything really, I don't know, like, I feel like at this point I don't have many bigger discographies for groups, but anyways, with that said, I will link the other collection videos that I've done so far. I know I've done one for a couple different groups, so I will link those in the description if you want to go see them. But with that said, that was everything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.